Hey guys, welcome back to Chickadee Farm. My name is Karina. If you're new here, welcome. Today is one of the last big projects in the garden for the season, and that is getting ready to plant our garlic. So today I'm not actually planting the garlic because I have them, but there is a whole soaking process that the company I get them from suggests doing. One is, I think, bleach, and the other is then soaking it overnight in a fertilizer mixture. So, not planting the garlic. However, because we're going to be changing the garden completely, and I don't know where my beds are going to be. In fact, I won't even have beds here shortly. I needed to plant the garlic somewhere that's kind of out of the way. So where my potatoes were last year, you can see back there, is where we are going to put them. It's nothing. This is behind the big loafing shed. We aren't going to be changing anything back here, at least not for the foreseeable future. We might put we are going to probably put the recycle compost bins here, but other than that, and I already have the irrigation here, so it kind of works perfectly. But I do need to get it prepped, which means I need to pull back all of the straw that was there for the potatoes, and then I'm going to pull up the irrigation, just move it out of the way, and I'm going to rototill the ground. And I know that a lot of people are really big into no-dig gardens, and I would love to do that. However, our dirt is terrible here, and I would like to be able to use in-ground beds. And until I can build up some decent soil, I'm going to go ahead and till, and then I'm going to put a layer of compost down on everything and mix that all in. So hopefully eventually this little bed here will have some really great soil. So that's the plan for today. We're just going to clear the straw, get it rototilled, put some compost down, and then hopefully in the next couple days, I'll come back out and do planting with you. I will also show you the process of the soaking thing that I was talking about as well, but we'll do that in the house. So I think that's it, and I should just get started. Holy cow, that's a lot of work. Oh my goodness. The good thing is, because it's all wet, it actually tilled up pretty easily. Well, I mean, tilled up. Wasn't like rock hard. And it didn't take very long, so that's perfect. As David just pointed out to me, I really should have been wearing ear protection while I did that, but it was only 5 minutes, so I think my ears will survive. Okay, and funny enough, I found 3 potatoes. This one I unfortunately got cut by the rototiller, but that's okay. We can eat it soon, but these 2, it's kind of funny, considering how terrible my potato harvest was. I'm sure I'm gonna end up with volunteer potatoes in this bed next year, but that's fine. They can live with the garlic. Neither of them really need any care during the year other than water and weeding, so they'll be fine. All right, next is getting this compost. I only got 4 bags. I'm not trying to like do a thick layer. I just want to add a little bit of good organic material to the bed. And actually, I need to go out and get some, I think it's bone meal that garlic really likes. Well, any bulb plant really likes bone meal. And I don't have any, so I'll need to go out and get some of that. But I'm gonna get this stuff on there now. I think I should have gotten more. You can kind of see there's some sparse bits here. So I'm gonna work this in and then see where we are. But I might go get maybe 2 or 3 more bags since I have to go get bone meal anyway. Might as well pick up a couple more. But all right, let's get this raked in. All right, we are all finished with prepping the bed. That was actually a lot faster than I expected it to be. The great thing about using the potato bed, and since I did the Ruth Stout method this year, I have all of that straw sitting here, and actually a lot of it had already started breaking down. So there already is some decent composted material in there, which is great. So I'm actually thinking I'm okay. Maybe I'll grab a couple more bags of compost just to be helpful to my plants. And clearly the potatoes did not do well here. I mean, it could be any number of reasons why they didn't, but I imagine that soil health was definitely one of them. Yeah, so once I get them planted, I'll just pull all of that straw back over them so they're nice and mulched for the winter. So the crazy thing is we've had this amazing fall, right? We didn't have our first frost for almost a month after our usual first frost date. And then since then, it's just been gorgeous weather. In the 70s during the day, high 30s, low 40s, all Fahrenheit here, at night. So just fantastic weather. And that's supposed to go on until next Thursday. And suddenly it's going to be 20-degree low. So it's going to be very abrupt, and like the high will be in the mid-30s. So yeah, I think that must be the way winter comes here. It just comes with a bang. Because last year when we arrived, and I think we arrived maybe like mid next week, the last week of October, and everything had already frozen, like long frozen. None of the trees had leaves anymore. So this is our first time kind of actually experiencing fall. And like I said, it's, I don't think it's a usual fall. So I've been grateful for it though, since I definitely could reap the benefits. But all right, next up, we will get the garlic soaked. We'll get them all broken up. Oh, I was also going to mention that my plan, so last year I planted 125 or 127 cloves, well, garlic plants. And I am hoping to plant almost double that, so right around 200. And I think I'll easily be able to get that in this row because I'll probably plant them 3 across. I don't even know if I'll need to plant them 3 across, but plenty of space. And we'll see. I ordered a pound of the chestnut red softneck and a pound of the, it wasn't Ivanhard. It was the other red hard neck. Anyway, I only got 2 kinds this year. Gonna just keep it simple. But I did want to have hard necks and the soft necks because I did like having the scapes. That was fun. All right. So that's it, and I'll see you here shortly in the house to soak some garlic cloves. Hey guys, so we are inside to get the garlic soaking. I order my garlic from Keen Garlic. That's who I got it from last year, and it worked out well, so figured I would use them again. And like I said, I got 1 pound of each, and I misspoke. So the chestnut red is which is this one, is the hard neck, and then I got the Inchelium red, which is the soft neck. So I have both of these. And the first thing we need to do is break out all the cloves. So that's quick and easy. Well, maybe not quick, but it's easy. And then we will get them soaking. And the first step of the soaking is to put them in a sterilization solution, and they recommended hydrogen peroxide or isopropyl alcohol and one other thing I can't remember off the top of my head. But I'm just gonna use hydrogen peroxide. I have lots of it. And you just soak them for 10 minutes, and what that does is it kills any possible microorganisms that could be living on the garlic. This is an organic garlic grower, and they specifically grow their garlic for seed. So, you know, they're very careful, but they say in their instructions that they're organic, so that means they don't spray anything, and something could be living on them that we don't want to put in our soil. So that step, and then we will soak it at least 30 minutes, preferably overnight, in a fertilizer mixture. And I'm just gonna be using Alaska fish fertilizer, and you just use it in the way that it says to use. So this one is 2 tablespoons per gallon of water for, so for vegetables, bedding plants, bulbs, and annuals. So vegetable and bulb, covered with both. I don't think I'll need a gallon of water, so I'll probably only do a tablespoon and a half gallon. But yeah, so first things first, let's get these guys all separated out. We are gonna start with the Inchelium red. So I definitely don't wanna get these mixed up, although it'll be fairly easy since this is soft neck and the chestnut red is hard neck. The cloves will likely be much bigger. Although I did order the jumbo size, so you can order the jumbo size, which means the cloves are going to be bigger, or you can order the large, I think, or large and then like, I don't know, regular or something like that. But the key with garlic is the bigger the clove, the bigger that the bulb is going to be when it grows. So you want to go with as big of cloves as you can. Oh, and I didn't say why the fertilizer soaking. Basically what that does is it gives them the chance to soak up fertilizer in their little root ends here before you plant them. So they have lots of food for the winter. You don't have to do any of this. You can absolutely just go plant them in the ground. It's totally fine. But they recommend it, and I did it last year, and it certainly didn't hurt anything, so I figure I'm gonna just do it again. Uh-oh, bummer. That was a big clove, too. All right, I actually got quite a few nice big ones off that guy. So, oh, actually this one's not good either, so never mind. But if this was a good one, I would keep this aside because it's quite a bit smaller than all of the rest. And so I probably wouldn't plant it. And I think I said I'm aiming for like around 200 garlic plants. So we will see what we get. We might have to use some of the small cloves. They also said it didn't matter whether you leave the paper on or off, makes no difference, at least in their experience, and they've been doing this for like, I don't know, 50 years or something like that. So like you can see here, some of the paper came off, and that's the bare clove under there. But it doesn't matter. It will plant just the same. Okay, this is funny. I planted 127 cloves last year. I have 127 cloves again this time. Actually, I guess I have, because I have a couple of small ones, so 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32, 33, 34, 35. So I've got these little guys here. that I could use. And then I also have two. This one that no, I didn't show you this one, but it's kind of going bad, but there's still a lot of it that's okay. So since I'm gonna have space, because I think I have space for 224, I'm just gonna go ahead and plant them. And these were both the Inchelium Reds, as well as these little guys here. The reason I think that I didn't get nearly as many is look at how big these cloves are. They're massive. I mean, yeah, they're huge. And they were not this size last year because I ordered my garlic really late. Like, I don't even think I ordered them until the end of September. And by that point, they're like super limited on even what they had. So I'm sure I got the smallest cloves you can buy because those would be the last to go, of course. So I feel like even though it's going to be the same number of cloves, that my bulbs will end up bigger because my cloves are so much bigger, because it's on both cases. Like last year, most of the biggest ones were this size, which now I'm calling small. So I feel like I'm still gonna end up with quite a bit more garlic, even though I am planting the same amount, or almost the same amount. It's just kind of funny. Anyway, so yeah, so I've got these guys. Actually, let me change my number on here so I make sure that I am planting the right, or then keeping track of how much I'm actually planting. So I put 2 more, 92, 93, 94, 95, 96, 97, 98, 99, 100, 101, 102. All right, 102. And this was 34. Right, so 102 of the soft neck and 34 of the hard neck. All right, so I'm gonna get these covered with the, what is this again? Hydrogen peroxide for 10 minutes, and then we will put them in their separate bowls with the fish emulsion. Probably gonna have to use this entire bottle to actually cover them. Yep, pretty much. Oh, and I did just want to mention too, wait, let me set a timer. Alexa, set a timer for 10 minutes.
10 minutes.
So these were, I only had 3 that were like actually bad. So like, yeah, they look like that. I highly doubt that they would do anything. Yeah, this one too. But only 3 out of the 136 cloves. So not bad. All right, so we're gonna let these set for 10 minutes, then we'll drain them. You don't rinse it, you just drain. And then we'll put them in the fertilizer. Actually, while I'm waiting, so I actually just had this great idea. These little bags that they came in, once they're done in the hydrogen peroxide, I'll put them in their individual bags and then in the same bowl to do the fertilizer soak. That way I only have one bowl to carry out to the garden. So while I'm waiting for that soak to finish, I'm going to prep this stinky stuff. So 1/2 gallon, 1 tablespoon. Let's start there and then see if we need to, once we have them in here, if we actually need to add more. I feel like this should be plenty. All right, just gonna get that all mixed in. It was interesting, they actually have a picture on their website and under their description of how to do this soaking method. They showed 2 cloves side by side, one that had been soaked and one that had not. And it was like, I think they said a week after they had put them in the ground. they just pulled them both up. The one that had been soaked had significant root growth already, and the one that hadn't been soaked had none. So it seems to me like it's worth it. And it really doesn't take that much work, so you might as well. They are all drained, and I'm thinking, oh no, my great idea just went up in flames. Dang it. All right, well, I guess I'll have 2 bowls. So I'm just gonna pour some of this over these guys. I might have to mix up more now. Oh, no, it should be perfect. And the nice thing about only doing 2 kinds is that it's much easier to keep track of what is what, especially when they're so obviously different. The clove size alone is gonna make it very obvious which one is which. So yeah, there we go. The rest of it in there. And then I'm just gonna put these guys in the garage overnight, and tomorrow we will go out and get these planted. I did get some more compost. I got 4 more bags of compost, and I got a bunch of bone meal. So they should be in for a lovely winter's nap. Oh, I did just want to mention too that the reason that you plant your garlic now in the fall is that it needs a pretty significant cold period. It's called stratification. And if it doesn't get that, it will grow, but actually I don't even think it will grow. So yeah, even if you wanted to plant in the spring, you would still have to put your garlic cloves in like the refrigerator or in a cold place for 8 to 12 weeks. So it could have that stratification process. But this way, plant it in the fall, and you don't have to worry about it until it's time to harvest it in like July. I think that was when I harvested it this year. So yeah, easy peasy. And this is a perfect time, right? Because pretty much harvest is all done, the garden's all ripped out, so there's nothing going on, whereas in the spring, you're super busy. So this is perfect. All right, to the garage they go. I'll see you tomorrow. We are back in the garden to get our garlic planted. I just went and measured the bed, and it is 2 feet wide by 30 feet long, which I think is way, way more than I need. Stupidly though, I just spread the compost all the way to the end. So I'm gonna figure out how much length I actually need, and then I'll probably rake that compost to where I actually need it. And then also we need to spread this bone meal. So that's another reason I need to figure out how much I need. So typically you want to plant garlic no closer than 6 inches apart. Yeah, so I'm gonna do 2 rows 6 inches apart. So let me figure out what that means. All right, I actually was wrong. I do need, in fact, I'm even gonna be a little bit short. So they're gonna be a little closer than 6 inches. I think I need 33 feet. And I wasn't super precise in measuring this, so it's likely longer than 30 feet. Anyway, but perfectly, so 30 feet times 2 feet is 60 square feet, and one of these bags covers 60 square feet. So that's perfect. So I'm gonna go spread this out along here, and then we will start planting. Alrighty, so let's start with our hardnecks. And you know, I'm not gonna guess what 6 inches is, especially since I have my measuring tape here. once I've figured it out, then I think I'll be fine. All right, so basically it's the length from here to here. So I don't have to carry both things with me all the way down the bed. All right, so I'm just going to work the bone meal into the soil here. Some of that compost that I just put on is a little wet. And then you want to do about 3 inches deep for each one. All right, so that's not quite 6 inches apart. All right, and then you just want to put the pointy part up because that's where the roots are going to grow from. So you want that pointed down and just cover it up. And it is as easy as that. I'm actually kind of thinking I'm gonna go dig a whole bunch of holes all the way down, and then I can just come back and drop them in, cover them up. So kind of like a assembly line kind of deal. Might be a little bit easier. All right, the other reason that I wanted to dig all the holes was to make sure I did have enough room, and I definitely do not. I only have 64 holes, and I know I haven't even started on the soft neck, and I think I had like 97 or something like that of the soft neck. So I'm thinking it's gonna get planted 3 in a row the rest of the way down. And hopefully that will be enough. And I planted them much closer last year and they did fine. So I was thinking I had plenty of space to do that, but I would have needed to make this another foot bigger, which I didn't, but that's okay. All right, so I'm almost done with the hard neck, and then we'll get these guys going. All right, last step is to pull all the straw over it. I want a good 3-4 inches thick on top of it. I did give it some water. Some of the areas were a little dry, and we do have rain in the forecast, I think early next week, but we also have a lot of days of really nice weather still, which is so crazy because last year when I planted my garlic, it was like 20 degrees. Okay, maybe not 20, but it was cold. I was all dressed up in big coat and boots, and my hands were frozen by the time I was done. It was definitely not 70 degrees, and yeah, it wasn't even sunny. It was cloudy, as I recall. So, complete difference. And it was about this time of year that I planted it. So maybe a week or two later than this. But yeah, just kind of crazy to think about. All right, so I'm going to cover it up with this straw, and then we will be done with garlic for the year. So here we are. Garlic bed is all put to bed for the winter. This white PVC pipe is where I started the Enchelium Reds, and then everything in front of that are the Chestnut Reds, the hardnecks. So I think everybody should be quite happy. And you might be wondering why I hand watered them. That's because I've torn up most of the irrigation. The line that's still here could still be hooked up to the faucet, the one that feeds this one. But I've just turned everything off for the winter, so and didn't want to hook it up just for a couple of weeks for the garlic bed. If I need to, I can come out here and hand water a couple more times, but honestly, I don't think I'll need to. With the hay or the straw on top of it, that's just going to keep moisture in, and we're getting heavy dews every night, so yeah, just don't think that we'll need to. And yeah, so actually I can show you what our irrigation situation is looking like at the moment. This is all the stuff from the beds. So I'm excited to have this done, and it's always such a cool thing. Well, this is only my second year growing garlic, right? So it was very cool this spring to come out and have my garlic that I planted at this time last year start coming up. So it'll be fun to do it again next year. All right. Well, I hope you enjoyed our time with the garlic, and I will see you next time. Bye, guys.